Welcome to the American Dream with your host, Martha Dabdoo. Lights, camera, heritage. Join us today while we explore Old Tucson, meet with the talented actor Jon Proudstar, and dive into a vibrant world at Harley's toy comic book store. Can you share with us a little bit of the history, when we got started, which movies have been filmed here in Old Tucson, and which iconic famous actors have come through Old Tucson?
Absolutely, yeah. So it starts with a movie called Arizona that filmed out here in 1939. And at that point, this set was actually built for the actual movie. During the next 5 or 6 years, it kind of goes dormant until 1946, when basically the Tucson Junior Chamber of Commerce comes out and builds it back up again, builds the place back up, and eventually what happens is Hollywood returns and makes 31 more movies in that time period. And one of those is John Wayne's Rio Bravo. Of course, a very, very famous one that you probably know called Tombstone. It was filmed out here in 1993. Yes. We're still making movies today. We're still making TV shows, and we're still making films and commercials and whatever we can get our hands on. So it's an active movie set to this day.
And we're here at Old Tucson. Deja vu, right?
Oh my God, yeah, this is my old stomp.
Can you share with us what you're feeling as we were, going through Old Tucson, and what films you were actually in?
This place was just so monumentous in my life. And then when I finally started to get to work here, it was just amazing because I'm a movie freak, and watching all the films and standing where the movie stars stood. And then, I went on to shoot a Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings music video here, Webster's Big Western Adventure, Young Guns 2, Tombstone, just a ton of stuff that I worked on in this town.
You're also a comic book writer.
Yes.
What led for you to write your own comic books?
I had thought about it ever since I was a kid, and I was waiting for Marvel or DC to create a good native superhero, and they never did. So finally, I just said, you know what? I think I'm gonna have to do this myself.
Is there a superhero in your comic book?
There's several that represent different tribes. There's over 753 tribes here in America.
And were these characters inspired by an experience that you lived in your life?
Yeah, I worked with survivors of child molestation and violent youth offenders for about 34 years. So I met hundreds of young people, and a lot of their stories stuck with me. So I wanted to do something to tell that story so that these young girls, instead of choosing suicide, that maybe they'll learn something from this character, this little girl, Nita, as she learns how to survive with that, as she learns how to cope with that. Even though she's got these superpowers, that thing from her past still kind of haunts her.
You have been accoladed with being the only person that has come up with their first Native American comic book, right?
Yes.
Can you share a little bit of that with us?
We were inducted into the Smithsonian Institute for being the first all-native superhero comic in the history of the United States, which blew my mind. And from there, it spawned, now there's hundreds of Native creators out there. We have a Comic-Con, an Indigenous Comic-Con, specifically for Indigenous creators, and it all stemmed from this.
We're at Harley's Toys and Comic. There are so many toys, comic books, and so much more. What celebrities and what characters have you had here in your place?
We've had quite a bit. My very first signing was Jason Faunt. Jason Faunt is the Red Power Ranger from Time Force. He actually sent my name to the next person, which actually put me on the map, was Lou Ferrigno. Lou Ferrigno is the original Hulk, and it was his first time in Tucson. I've also had the guys from The Sandlot, so the one played the Smalls, Timmy and Yaya, I've had them here.
Well, I see you have a lot here, a lot of items here, a lot for people to come and find. right? If you're collecting, if you're a youngster, there's a lot for you to start collecting. If you're in your 30s, there are stuff that maybe you still need that you have not found. Here is the place to find it, here with Ronnie at Harley's Toys and Comics. Thank you for exploring with us today. And remember that creativity, that magic behind all these iconic treasures that will continue to inspire us all. Stay curious, dream big. Until our next adventure, Martha Dabdu.